Hello and welcome to the Derry Church Kitchen Cook Show. Today we're filming from the Sand Castle Resort and we have a special guest, Chef Ferace, and he's going to show me how to make a bird out of an apple to garnish your vegetable or fruit trays. Okay, Jim?
All right, so first thing you're going to do is get your apple. You're going to make sure it's big enough. You're going to take the stem off and usually just twist the stem out. And then you're going to take your knife and you're going to cut the bottom flat. And what you need to do is you need to have a bowl of water.
Okay.
And lemon juice, either fresh lemon or squeezed lemon. Just put some lemon juice in the water. What that does, it helps the citric acid, helps the apple from turning brown while you're doing this, because they usually turn brown really fast. Then you're going to take the apple, face it towards you, and you're going to look at your seam here, and you're going to go down just about to the core.
Okay.
And you're going to do the same thing on the other side.
All right.
So just be about
So that's on the other side of
the core.
the core.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's about 3/4 of an inch. And you're going to do another cut the same way.
Okay.
And then you're going to go down to your side. And you're going to line up kind of with the top of the core there.
Like this.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're going to go across the side of your apple. And you're going to go down again just to get that, make sure it gets all the way through.
Okay. So it really looks like a regular piece of apple.
Right. So you can take that, just for right now, we're just going to drop that in there. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side.
So that's just a real big piece of sliced apple.
Yeah, and you want to try and keep it so they're level.
Oh,
So
okay.
you
Measure
bring
it
it
up
around,
with your knife.
measure around,
Okay.
bring it around to the back. Go back down through the top, make sure it splits.
Now, what's your favorite apple to do this with?
I usually use either a McIntosh or a Red Delicious, mainly because they're larger
Okay.
apple. So then you're going to take your sides,
Okay.
make sure you get the right side, put them back out. You're gonna take your apple and just dip it in the water. Again, that's just to keep the meat from browning. And you're going to take your knife, and usually I use a paring knife for this. You're going to go down, and you're just going to make continuous cuts down, but not all the way through. And you can usually do 2 or 3 cuts depending on the size of your apple. You can use a bigger knife if you desire.
Now, what are you making here?
This is the wings.
The wings. Okay.
So make sure you get it all the way through. And slide that piece off, dip it in your water, and do it again. And make sure you always have a sharp knife when you're doing it. Because we're not having really good luck with this knife right now, but you get the gist. And again, you're going to do the same thing with these 3 pieces. You're going to take them, just leave them back in there, and you're going to repeat on the other side. Do the same thing. And it's pretty simple to do.
a hard shell.
Yeah, it is. It is tough skin. Well, these are last year's apples, so.
That's right, they are. People don't realize that.
No. Everybody thinks that the apple they're eating off the store right now just got picked. It did.
But it's been,
Last fall.
it's been in cold storage.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we're going to do the same thing with this. You're going to take it and just stick it and dip it in the water.
All right.
And then you're going to take what you
The
cut off
first
at the
piece.
bottom.
Okay.
And
All right.
so you're going to just take, and you should do a little design.
And what are you doing here?
And here we're making the head of the bird.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and what I like to do, just to give it some definition, is once you get it, what would be the head cut out. So this is your head of your bird.
Okay.
So I usually just take tip of my knife and just basically just do a little
Drill
bore
a hole.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll either stick a allspice or a peppercorn
Oh, okay.
in there to give it an eye.
All right.
Okay, and then just going to trim it down a little bit in the front and side. Because what you're going to do, you're going to now go into the top of this apple where you left the thickness.
Okay. Right above the core.
Just above the core. And you're going to cut out just a wedge,
Oh,
a little
okay.
wedge. You don't want to go too deep, you don't want to go too far.
And then you could slice that little bit of a neck.
Yeah. And then you're just going to have to, you'll have to
Okay.
play
Make
with
it fit.
Make it fit. Doesn't always fit the first time. So it'll go in there like that. And then you're going to
Okay.
take your,
Whoop.
we'll fix that in a minute. So you're going to take your sides and you're going to put them back on.
It's looking good.
Push those back some. And we're going to have to thin this out a little bit more.
This resort ought to get better knives.
You think? And there you have your bird.
That's a
Simple, easy.
bird made out of an apple. Remember, Jesus and germs are everywhere, so wash your hands and say your prayers.